From the Opubco Studios in Oklahoma City, this is OSU Football with Brandon Chatmon. I'm Jenni Carlson. Brandon, the spring is over for Oklahoma State. Their spring game was on Saturday night. I think everybody wanted to see this new offense. What were your impressions of this new offense?
You know, it was actually pretty impressive when you look at what the Cowboys were able to do, especially their first time kind of being out there, game situations. Brandon Weeden, he was pretty impressive. He made good decisions, he made quick decisions, and he limited the negative play as far as throwing interceptions and just putting himself in positions where he was getting sacked. So I think as far as Brandon Weeden, it was one of the best performances you could have asked for.
I know there was some concern earlier in the spring when Brandon Weeden said, hey, looking at this thing on film and doing it in real life is a little bit different. Did he sort of maybe make people think, okay, everything's all right with the performance he had on Saturday?
I think so. I think he not only made people feel that way, but he made the coaching staff feel that way as well. Because I know at one point, you know, he kind of hit a wall and things were moving really fast and he wasn't sure how he was going to respond to that. But clearly on Saturday, he's gotten more comfortable. He has a better feel for where he's trying to go with the football, especially when there's pressure. So those are the things I kind of paid a close attention to, even though he's going against the second-team defense. It was more a matter of how quickly he made those decisions and how quickly he recognized certain things.
I think a question people may be wondering with this new offense, Brandon Weeden may have made people believe he can be the quarterback, but the question of protecting that asset, protecting the quarterback, with Russell Okung now gone, that left tackle spot is open, as well as some other spots on the offensive line. How did the offensive line look with this new system?
Well, I mean, clearly the offensive line is still a work in progress. They're still trying to figure out which guys up front really want to compete and which guys up front are going to be able to be out there and compete at a fairly high level. The one good thing for the Cowboys is obviously in this offense, you're trying to get rid of the football really quickly. So you might have situations where even if a guy misses a block or whatever, the ball's gone already anyway. And Coach Holgorsen talks a lot about making sure that you go to that outlet receiver if somebody's free or whatever. So, I mean, it's kind of built around not having sacks anyway, so that helps your offensive line. But nonetheless, the OSU defense did get some pressure in the spring game. So clearly it's a work in progress. Clearly they have a long way to go, but I think they are happy with the talent they have up front.
Before we get to that defense, one more question about the offense. Running backs, that was an often injured position last year for the Cowboys. Kendall Hunter back. Some of those guys that were going to be backups to him last year also returned. What did you think about the running backs on Saturday night?
You know, I think the running backs were okay. Unfortunately, Travis Miller, he took a hit early on in the game from Micah Martin, and he didn't come back. But he apparently looked really good this spring. Jeremy Smith apparently was another guy who looked really good this spring behind Kendall Hunter. And then what more can you say about Kendall Hunter? I mean, you're looking at a guy who could be an All-American. In this offense, he's a guy that people are going to be talking about a lot.
You mentioned Micah Martin. He was a guy that when we last saw the Cowboys on the field in the Cotton Bowl was making plays, was doing things that made you think, hey, this guy has a special future. Is he now that defensive star for the Cowboys? Is he going to emerge as a guy we're talking about every week for the Cowboys?
I think so. When people say OSU's defense, who's going to be the star, who's going to be a leader, Micah Martin comes to mind right away. He's just a guy who's always around the football, and he's always making big hits, like that big hit on Travis Miller in the first play of the spring game. And the other thing people forget about Micah Martin, he has the versatility where he was a cornerback at one point for the Cowboys. So he is just so versatile. I wouldn't be surprised if he's an all-league defender next year.
All right. Thanks, Brandon. Hey, stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.